so far, and I think it'll continue to be good. The relationship is extraordinary with Venezuela, smart country. And we've taken out 100 million barrels of oil. It's right now in Houston being taken care of and made
Texas.
so beautiful.
That's big for
you
us.
have to see this at work. They have it's brought to the refineries. It's being refined in
Syria? Yeah.
Houston, which is made exactly for that product. And so far, but it's 100 million barrels of oil, and now they have another 100 million barrels coming. And it's like a partnership. We're getting along so well with them. It's great for Venezuela, and it's great for the United States. Please go ahead.
Do you want the shot as some random Trump shows?
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder.
This is the same thing they focus on over and over and over.
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
You said earlier that we've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. What do you consider enough? What's your baseline?
Where they're not going to be starting the following day to develop a nuclear weapon. Where they'll look at that man and some other people from the administration and say, all right, we're not going to do it. They were not willing to say that. And when he called up and he said that to me, I said, well, here we go. Let's do it the hard way. But the hard way, I think, is probably the easy way. When basically I could see that they will no longer have any capacity whatsoever for a very long period of developing weaponry that could be used against the United States, Israel, or any of our allies. We have great allies in the Middle East, great countries that are allies. And they were staying out of it until they got hit. Someday they'll have to do a story, why did he do that? Why did they do that? But they were going to hit them. If I didn't hit them first, they were going to hit our allies first. I believe, upon information and belief, but I believe that he was going to they were going to take over the Middle East. They were looking to take over the Middle East.
As I said, other people said they were going to do that too.
Had Operation Midnight Hammer not taken place, that was definite.
Saudi Arabia even said
because they would have had a nuclear weapon within a matter of weeks. But that took place. That was a setback. But look at the number of missiles they were able to buy and make over the last 6 months.
8 months, yeah, something like that.
And those missiles were aimed at various countries. And when you look at over 1,000 missiles shot at like UAE, they were looking to take over the Middle East. We got there first.
Exactly.
Lucky. I'll tell you what, the Middle East and those countries, very rich countries, are very lucky that I was president instead of somebody else.
And your vice president when it comes to U.S. action in Iran.
I don't think so, no. No, we get along very well. He was, I would say, philosophically a little bit different than me. I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic. But I felt it was something we had to do. I didn't feel we had a choice. If we didn't do it, they would have done it. I felt, based on the negotiations that were being had by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Marco and Pete and everybody was involved, I felt that they were looking to tap us along before they hit, and I thought they would hit. And if they hit us first, that would have been a very bad thing. In the back, please, in the back. About the strait, you mean? Yeah, well, I want to keep it open. I want to keep it good. You know, it doesn't pertain to us so much as it does to China. We're really helping China here and other countries because they get a lot of their energy from the straits. But, hey, look, we have a good relationship with China. It's my honor to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to keep selling oil to China, obviously.
You have called him an unacceptable choice.
Who?
So does he have a target on his back, and how can you
I don't want to say whether or not he does because that would be inappropriate. But, hey, look, I had a target on my back because as you people wrote pretty
Why
well,
would you ask this?
they caught the assassin that was after me.
Ooh.
So we just got them first. They caught the assassin. They have him now in custody that was after me. So people don't like to mention that, but they did catch him. And I'd like to congratulate our military, Secret Service,
Little
FBI,
dick
all of
sucker.
the people that worked on that, but they did. Yeah, please. Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You promised the Iranian people you would help them, but it sounds like you're going to end this fight after your military objectives have wrapped up. Is that
Doesn't that help them?
the trail of
Will
the
I help
people?
them? I'd like to. They can behave. But they've been very menacing. You know, they're great people. They have an amazing population. Amazing, smart, brilliant,
Very
energetic.
high.
They have a great. I'd love to help them, but they have to be in a system that allows them to be helped.
He's right.
And right now, they're in
Yeah.
a system that only allows failure. And I don't want that. And I want a system that's not going to be attacking us. We want a system that can lead to many years of peace. And if we can't have that, we might as well get it over with right now. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, as of today, there have been 8 U.S. military fatalities
Right.
associated with the war in Iran. How many American
That was
deaths
7.
are you willing to have?
Well, as I said before, when you have conflicts like
Not
this, you
more than
always have death.
17. We say
And
17
I
is
was
the
at Dover
number.
yesterday. I met
If
the
it's
parents,
above
and
17,
they were
we end the
unbelievable
war.
people. They were unbelievable people, but they all had one thing in common. They said to me one thing, every single one: finish the job, sir. Please finish the job. And I'll leave you at that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
There he is. How many would die if Iran got a nuke? Nobody thinks about that. They're not able to think about separate instances of events happening simultaneously. That's impossible to unravel. It's a level of thinking that nobody can even imagine. So, Iran Foreign Minister thanks CENTCOM for posting a tweet confirming U.S. missiles are deployed from Gulf countries and says that Iran will strike them. Oh, Iran needs justification to shoot missiles. Oh, okay. Honestly, I think this is about what I'd expect. I mean, he said pretty much the same stuff I'd expect him to say. Sure, all of this makes sense. Let me go back. I'll pull a few more of these up. This is all the same thing. Oh, this is that massive light thing. People said there were more missiles. You missed this moment from earlier? Okay, let me pull it up. I gotta find it. Where the hell is it? Okay, where is this? This is a part of it I didn't even get a chance to see.
No, I don't want to brag. Done. No, I don't want to brag. But, you know, they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing. No other president.
Man.
Things I'm doing, nobody else was going to do. They say it all the time, sir, could
All
you
right.
do this? You're the only one to do it. No, I don't want to brag. But, you know, they said this about a lot of things. Could do some of this shit I'm doing.
Man. Fucking finally. You're not wrong? Yeah, it seems like I don't want to brag, but I'm the best. He most definitely will say the N-word this year. I don't know, but I think that's a little bit different than this. I say that. And, yeah, Kenny Bright, yeah, I couldn't see Kamala Harris doing this. I'll tell you that for sure. That's a fucking fact. And, yeah, I'm glad I got that one. I did forget this. That was fucking funny. And, stealing for the whole world. Oh, is it stealing, right? What is this here? And, Iran's supreme leader told CNN in Tehran, there is no longer any room for diplomacy. Prepare for a long war. Prepare for a short life. All right.
Something really bad has just started happening on the internet. It could deceive you, and it actually begins with Resident Evil Requiem, though it's not its fault. It's one of the best reviewed games of the year. I've been hooked on it. It's absolutely fantastic. Even the harshest of reviews uneven. And in the words of one reviewer for Video Gamer, a 9 out of 10 on Metacritic, quote, if you haven't checked the pre-order bonuses yet, you might want to commit, which is a very odd thing to say. Who knows, maybe the reviewer, Brian Marigold, doesn't have English. Maybe on a bad day, the editor simply just didn't catch it. But the thing is, the whole review is really odd. There's actually not much engagement with, well, the content of Requiem. It almost feels like it's written by someone who just looked at other people's reviews. But here's the thing, that's actually incorrect. It's incorrect because this was not made by a someone. The entity behind it is called Brian Marigold, but the thing is, Brian Marigold is not a real human. All this was flagged by Andres Aquino, who, by the way, is a real person and did actually review Resident Evil Requiem. He was checking the critical consensus when he found Video Gamer's review. Now here's the thing, Video Gamer isn't some tiny random site. It's a UK game site that has existed for years and it's trusted enough to be a Metacritic. But this review is clearly a fake review. It's seemingly just been cobbled together using previews and a language model. And functionally, it is worthless. It doesn't describe the experience of playing the game or anything meaningful to the reader. It's completely hollow, as is the writer, because Brian Marigold is an attempt to fake a writer. He even has a profile, and it's bizarre. It claims he's got a master's degree in English Lit from the University of Sussex. Brian's even got an X in blank, and we can see plenty of reviews and articles attributed to him on Video Gamer. Though curiously, there are even more attributed to him that are about online casinos, so gambling. This is all quite weird, but it does make sense when you read his background and you see, quote, an experienced iGaming and sports betting analyst. But then you look at Brian Marigold's profile picture, where the file name is ChatGPT image October 20, 2025. Because yeah, it does actually seem like most of Video Gamer's current staff are fake people. They are Gen AI creations that are faking the operation of a real website, and certainly a website that actually used to be real with real writers. So we now have fake writers at a real site who have been given a simulacrum of existence, all in an attempt to get around the most obvious failings of Gen AI writing. Obviously, nobody believes it. You know who especially doesn't believe it? Google. If you're truly in the know, you may be thinking about Glorbo right now. You see, back in 2023, we highlighted the coming of Glorbo, a massive spiritual event for the entire world. But in reality, it was a World of Warcraft community's attempt to troll sites like Z-League and The Portal, which were basically all fake, by creating Reddit threads about fake characters and fake events. You see, those sites were SEO farms. They basically just scraped what people were talking about on Reddit. They then generate an article and publish the article to drive search traffic, ideally to, you know, apps, advertising, that kind of thing. Back then, it was so pathetically obvious that it was mostly just a joke. But this time round, it is a little bit different, because it's happening with a real outlet. It's happening with Video Gamer. Real outlets have got fact checks, they have editors, they have reputations, all of these things that make you think, well, they probably won't publish heinous bullshit. And implicit in that is that if they get something wrong, they should fix it, because, you know, they want you to come back. Obviously, sites like Z-League and The Portal are things that you've never heard of, don't trust, and, well, don't history. That means that Google stymies them, right? They don't appear at the top of searches. So Google search algorithms are supposed to be favoring actual author content, so real Reddit bylaws in editorial history. And that would mean that a scraper can't just farm whatever the current, talked about game is to get to the top of Google and get a bunch of quick money for exploiting a system rather than value. But a site with a long legacy absolutely can do that. And that is why this fake review ended up on Metacritic and impacted the score for this game. Now, it's not there anymore, thankfully. Metacritic told Eurogamer that they will never include an AI-generated review, and that if they discover one, the cost is removal and severing ties with the outlet while they investigate. Which is good, and as much as reducing reviews to scores is frustrating for nuance, Metacritic does at least respect the people who care about the reviews. But it all flags up a kind of spooky truth and a bit of a new world we're entering. We are now beyond articles filled with regurgitated or scraped information, like the Glorbo stuff. We're now seeing companies purchase established websites, fire the human staff, and then replace them with Gen AI content, and then hide behind that legacy and hide behind the brand name that they acquired to disguise all of this, even going as far as to create full profiles for these fake writers. It's pretty bad. It's not speculation, and now it's time to talk about the whole corporate story behind it. What I'm going to talk about isn't speculation. It is the account of staff who used to work at video games. We have with real humans. So, whenever ClickOut acquired the site, they started doing gambling and casino coverage. Loads of the staff left in protest, and it was odd to see a site called Video Gamer that we know for video games have on its little Google thing video game and online like casino news. That just felt odd, but you can kind of see why. I have to imagine that it had some casino content as well. Now, one of these writers, Max Nickel, claims that she was supposed to write the Resident Evil 9 review for the site, but then she was laid off alongside most of the other editors and staff back in February. Now, that is when Video Gamer's corporate owner, ClickOut Media, decided to lay off most of the editorial staff. Not just at Video Gamer, but also at Esports Insider and The Escapist. After forcing many of those staff to sign NDAs in order to get severance, they basically just replaced them with some AI-generated stuff. But not completely new AI-gen stuff. It's stuff that they were already doing to pump out loads of casino recommendations. Yeah, this is really weird, isn't it? And the only way they could expect their casino articles to do well is, of course, the legacy of these sites. And that means that, say, videogamer.com can actually pull off this Gen AI bullshit business model in a way that some random site that somebody just started up yesterday to do a grift, well, fundamentally couldn't. But the levels of banditry actually do go deeper. So this niche website here is Adventure Gamers. It's operated since 1998 and it was bought out last year. Now, its forum archives have got more than 2 decades of niche information from people passionate about those games that have all now been wiped because the site has refocused to being about online slots and casinos, which is exactly what you would expect if you went to adventuregamer.com. And what we see is that company after company, the pattern is the same. Buy a legacy site, fire all the staff, and puppet the corpse. And ClickOut are not the only group doing this. There are companies like Valnet who buy up sites, fire everyone, and then retain an endless tide of new writers paying absolute peanuts to just churn out content. It's one of the reasons why the quality of written content across loads of websites has just kind of increased over time. And I'm hesitant to blame those writers because the same thing that limits, say, the portal and Gorgo and all of that from exploiting SEO is actually what pressures all of the humans into working in a very SEO-friendly way. They essentially have to now. That's why you see guides across so many sites, as one little example. So what we're seeing is very little traction on high-effort, unique, original reporting, and basically just the press and formalized, structured outlets with meaningful backing kind of being pressured like never before on so many different fronts. And we've an example of that from the very same week the Resi 9 review was published. VGC revealed that Ziff Davis was laying off most of the editorial staff at Eurogamer and at the YouTube outlet Outside Xbox. And of course, this was not the first round. All of these sites were acquired in 2024 when the previous owner, ReadPop, just wanted out of the media business. And, well, these sites have just been cut and cut and cut since. It's a good thing the Digital Foundry just got out and got to be independent, holy shit. Now, the people who have been gutted by all of this, well, some of them are trying to fight back. We've got outlets like VGC and Aftermath that have sprung up as kind of independent, user-funded alternatives, some being free of advertising and all the SEO mandates that would otherwise just have to compromise guides until they literally die. Now, Aftermath, in the days after this news broke, they published a year's worth of long-form investigative reporting on the sheer scale of what took place. They have interviews with former staff. They have loads of evidence. And that is the kind of reporting that's valuable, but that's hard to publish anywhere else because it isn't guaranteed. In a world where article content is primarily distributed via the likes of Google search algorithm, you just can't really get traction and stuff like that. But the thing is, these independent outlets don't have the scale or the structural backing of the institutions that they came from. And of course, if the writers who powered a lot of these institutions are gone, then, well, we've got shells that just got left behind for the likes of ClickOut to acquire and then crawl their way into and puppet around, in many cases, by just pumping out loads of AI bullshit and trying to obfuscate it by making up fake writers with fake degrees from universities that they never went to. It's absolute peak banditry that is preying on all of the systems that are causing the issues we've got with online published content, but most importantly, it's preying on you. Resident Evil Requiem is the kind of game that is perfect for this type of fake review, because it's a highly previewed game, there's a whole series worth of writing to steal from, and the likelihood that someone would have a good experience with the game regardless of the review, because the game is bloody brilliant. Now, if it hadn't have been, then someone might have bought the game and wasted their time on something they really shouldn't have, because they believed a review that looked like a real review, but actually was fake. Basically, because they put their trust in someone who doesn't exist. And, you know, they were tricked, because it was made to look like it was done by someone who exists. And the worry is that the more of these fakes happen, the more the informational space just gets polluted and polluted and polluted. That is bad for truth. And I guess what it all comes down to here is trust, and how everything is leading to a future where trust is just going to be in short supply. When you read or watch a review, you are taking someone else's opinion and considering it for how you plan to spend your valuable time and often your valuable money. The review represents someone trying to communicate their experience with you, even if you disagree with them. You trust that they're earnestly trying to do that. But Brian Marigold cannot communicate with you, because Brian Marigold doesn't exist. It's a pile of generated text designed only to manipulate online systems and get your attention. You cannot trust it. It is literally designed to deceive you and make money off you. This is bad. This is not something that can continue. If you're looking for something or someone to blame, I would say it's the likes of Valnet and the likes of Clickout. They are just bandits. For years and years, they've been doing their banditry, and now that they have access to new tools, they have new ways to practice banditry. Fuck them, and I'll see you in the next video.
Is in the trap. It's over. It's over. Just give up.
I think it's just an observation of reality.
All right, well, let's do this. Is it racist for a government official to identify fraud?
No.
No. Is it Islamophobic?
To identify fraud?
To identify fraud.
It would be.
How come multiple whistleblowers have said that your administration told them not to say anything about widespread fraud across multiple agencies because doing so would be considered racist or Islamophobic?
I can't speak to it because it's not anything I would say.
Well, that's what your administration has said and has told whistleblowers, and as you just testified, the buck stops with you. That's what you stated in your statement whenever you announced you weren't running again.
What a fucking retard. Oh my God.
And, you know, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you know this, but it's been widely reported that in 2008, when Barack Obama was choosing his vice presidential candidate, he had three criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody that wasn't as smart as him and had less talent and charisma and couldn't possibly outshine him, so he picked Joe Biden. And then Joe Biden in 2020 used the exact same criteria. He wanted to make sure he picked somebody who wasn't as smart as him, had less talent and charisma, and wouldn't outshine him. And he picked Kamala Harris. And then in
everybody knows where this is going.
2024, Governor, I think it's very evident why Kamala Harris. The talent pool, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, the talent pool is just yellow.
I gotta give him some respect just laughing at it. He's like, okay, I see.
Brother,
all right.
We have hit the shore, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Great.
And, you know, Mr. Chairman.
Honestly hilarious. Okay, where is this?
In 2017, Governor. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
$1 billion.
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you
I
do
did.
any
I
preparation
take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some
Yeah.
Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me. As
Were you
governor,
governor
I
in
don't.
2024?
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of the
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024
When you were
as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024.
So it went up by that's 3,430%. That's a lot. Damn, bro. Like now, you know what? Now all those crash outs make a lot more sense.
What percent increase is that
Yeah.
from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Wait, are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay,
not.
well,
I'm not.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yep. And
I think we just need to have this guy. Like, I don't think he would have. Like, she does it in a way that's like kind of trashy. I think. It's just like it's a little bit. You know, she's okay, right? But
Governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can share us all that, but I'm going to know math. Math is 34,200% increase.
Superman,
An
yeah.
increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as the top 3 state for
What is
children
the
in the
total
last year.
That means
population in
no.
Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right
Are you
now.
governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know the number of children
I
residing
don't have
in
the
Minnesota?
specific numbers.
we got to get the other guy on. This girl is just wasting everybody's time.
I believe the 70,000 strong Somali community as a whole has made a positive impact on your state.
I just think this. All right, now I already know exactly where this is going.
To give you the really fair to say that the Somali community has successfully assimilated and is making Minnesota better.
Yeah, I believe they're on that path. Yes.
They're on that path. So this is another qualifying term to, like, hedge your bet of saying that it's obviously, because they're obviously not, right? They're obviously not assimilated. They're obviously not making Minnesota, right? You know, like, so that they're on the path.
I'm just curious by what metric you come to that conclusion. I just looked at some hard data. And we have the idea of what percentage of the native-born Minnesotans, all races, live in poverty in your state right now?
I don't have specifically.
I'll share it with you. It's 8%. For the Somali community, it's 52%. How about receiving food?
So 52% of them are in poor. That's insane.
Same thing. All right, I'll run it down with you. It's 7%, and then compared to 54% of the Somali community, and then don't have at least a high school diploma for all Minnesotans. It's 5%. Somali.
39% can't even fucking graduate high school? Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
The community is 39%. One family member
fuck is
at
going
least on Medicaid. It's 18% for Minnesota, 73% for the Somali community, and receiving welfare of some form. It's 21%, and it's 81% for the Somali community. Would you?
No, don't say it, guys. You can't say that because remember, Twitter got really mad at me for saying that.
Governor, do you happen to know what the percentages of all those who have currently been charged in this staggering social services fraud scheme were native-born Minnesotans? What percentage?
I do not have that.
I think it was 85 out of 98, which comes out to 13% Minnesotans and 87% Somali Minnesotans.
Not good.
So I think this is an instance, perhaps, of where woke gets slapped by data. There's been billions stolen over 7+ years right under your nose, and really there's only two explanations. It's either you were in on it or you weren't smart enough to see it.
No, I think that what happened is that he let it happen because he was worried that by cutting down and coming down on the Somalians that were scamming, that he might lose their vote. So what he decided to do instead of that was to just kind of ignore it and let it happen on its own. Like basically, and this is the Democrat strategy, right? Is that they effectively allow fraud from minority communities to happen. And then they look at and then they do that in order to effectively bribe them into voting for the Democrats that allow the fraud to continue. And then at the same time, because they're allowing the fraud categorically from different immigrant groups and different minority groups, any sort of criticism towards those immigrant groups or minority groups is reframed as racism and then disregarded. That's the strategy that they're using. So they're effectively, bribing them to vote for them indirectly by not enforcing the law. That's the strategy they're using. It's pretty obvious.
Either criminal negligence or wild incompetence.
Willful ignorance.
The only way this kind of fraud can reach this scale is if there's people in power that are colluding and collaborating willfully, blinding themselves to the realities around them. And in oversight, when we do investigations, it's rare for us to have whistleblowers because they face retribution and punishment and resentment, be ostracized, and it's difficult and it's uncomfortable and sometimes it's even dangerous. So when we have having an investigation and we have even a couple of whistleblowers, it's very valuable to us because they provide.
Why can't they sue them? Oh, I think they should go all the way. And I think that if they knew that he was allowing that to happen, I think they should charge him because the money that was basically reallocated to Somalia funded Al-Shabaab, which is a terrorist organization. So Tim Walz indirectly allowed a terrorist organization to be funded by the American taxpayer, and he did so willingly and knowingly. And I think if that's the case, I think he should be tried for treason. Absolutely. Like there has to start being real punishments for this type of behavior. And like, I mean, real, like serious, personal consequences. Like not you get fined, not you get fired. No, a lot worse.
Invaluable insight. Do you have any idea how many whistleblowers are working from Minnesota are working with the Oversight Committee?
A lot.
I do not. We have our own strong protections in the OLA, the independent.
Well, it's 30.
Apparently not good enough.
I mean, I haven't seen that in 5+ years in Congress.
So he got 30 people roaching out on him.
Damn. 30. Governor, on September 16th, 2020.
That's pretty bad, bro. 30. Oh my God. People do anything for personal gain, not to stop it. Yeah, I think that's exactly what you have to do. You've got to go after those people. And I feel like once you do that for a couple of people, then it stops.
We are staying on Capitol Hill, folks, and there is Governor Tim Mace. Let's listen in.
How much money was...
I'm not going to listen to that audio.
...started, or the payments are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
Well, Chairman, we did tell you. And Feeding Our Future grew because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said, why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped. Because there were concerns, obviously, it wouldn't stop the payments. Then they're restarted a month later.
You don't like her? It's not that I don't like her. I mean, it's really the audio was bad. But yes, I do think that she's trashy, and I think that she caricatures herself, and she makes the points that she makes weaker by the way that she behaves while she expresses those points.
What was the reason for restarting the payments?
My understanding was
I do. They never talked to me.
The agency believed that the court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated that. You said that, didn't you? You said the reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is. Because the court did something that I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying. This is from the court. It says, Feeding Our Future versus Minnesota Department of Education correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court. Here's what the judge says. Governor
He's
Tim
like,
Walz
wow.
told the media that the Minnesota Department of Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud, but that Judge Guthman ordered payments to continue in April
at his
2021.
face.
Next sentence. That is false. So you said something that wasn't true. He further states this. Judge Guthman, the court says this. Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time. So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench, and I think that
the
interpretation...
very first sentence, the first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever your Minnesota Star Tribune or whatever your paper is. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty...
Can you believe that all of this happened because of a 23-year-old virgin YouTuber? Like, he set all of this into motion. This guy got obliterated by a fucking, by a Mormon virgin. Just, I mean, I've never seen something like that happen. Just crazy. David and Goliath? Yeah. Why do you have to keep saying the virgin part? Because it makes it better. That's why. It makes it better.
Straightforward. So the court's
It's not my fault. It's the way it is.
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the interpretation
somebody's lying. Somebody's lying, because you can't say the court ordered you to restart the payments, and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
Yeah, who is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation. And I would note that those payments...
Could it be you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? Could that maybe be the reason why...
The thing is that, again, he has an argument. He's not using it. The real argument he should be using is that, you know, a inaccuracy does not imply a lie. It just means that we could have gotten something wrong. That doesn't mean that I lied. Like, I don't know why he doesn't say that. Rather than like this weird fucking like, you know, like this meandering bullshit.
You issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you never see done before. They issue a press statement saying you're wrong. The governor is wrong. His statement is, their words, not mine, false. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And you know, court work, you can appeal those, Congressman, as you well know. I'm sure
Is it all about politics, Governor?
No, it's about taking care of our people, which Minnesota does better than anyone else.
What about the...
Yeah, the behavior intervention program went from $3 million to $400 million in 5 years. The housing stabilization went from $2.6 million to $104 million. The integrated community supports went from $4.6 million.
I mean, it's obvious that, like, they massively increased it. They did. Oh, here's another one.
Licensed in your state under your law that you signed about a year and a half ago.
Every day we give licenses and people speed. So we ticket them and try and stop that. What I'm telling you is I don't understand the connection between...
He's here illegally, he can't read, and he got a license under your provisions, and he's driving all...
I can't speak to this. Listen, I don't know. Oh, there's somebody, wait a minute. There's an illegal alien that can't read with a driver's license? Where? I don't see it. I don't see it. Where? No, there's not.
Across the country, imperiling everybody else.
It's actually insane that they're doing this. Like, there should be, honestly, like, if you're driving around the whole country, there should be, like, federal, like, regulations for having a license, man. And, yeah, let me see if I can find a few more of these here, too. And, no, there's not this one. And there's this one, too. Oh, here we go.
Transportation, 1/3 of Minnesota's non-domiciled commercial driver's licenses were issued illegally. Were issued,
wait, 1/3 of the licenses were illegal? What the fuck?
Do you have a video ready to play for me? Can you play it now?
What?
Governor, this is what happens.
How do you do that? How do you do it that long? That long?
Happens when you issue driver's licenses to people illegally.
He is on the northbound lanes of 61, going the wrong way.
licensed in your state under a law that you signed that excludes federal officials, your federal partners, as you call them, from determining whether they're here illegally. That guy that was driving that truck couldn't pass the test. He didn't pass the test out on the road. There's another video I'm not going to play, but there's another video of a guy here illegally turning a truck like that around in the middle of a highway where people lost their lives because they were decapitated when they went underneath it. That's what happened. So my question for you is, this should be easy. What are you going to do to rectify the law that you signed that allows people here illegally to get a CDL? That tape was in Missouri, not in your state. Look, if you don't want to protect...
It's not going to stop it until you hold these people accountable. Like, he's the governor. Why not just hold him as an accessory for the people that got killed? Like, reckless endangerment. Fucking, there's like probably 50 things you could charge this guy with, bro. Like, take him through the ringer. Take him through the ringer. Go all the way. The jail time. See, like, this is, like, my opinion is that there are two ways to stop behavior. Jail time and capital punishment. That's it. Everything else doesn't stop behavior. Those things stop behavior. So if you're not doing one of those two things, you might as well just not do anything at all.
The people in your state, I guess that's your business and the business of your voters. But that driver was driving in Missouri.
Yep.
And if he'd have hit a bunch of people, quite honestly, to me, you could have been held liable.
Yeah. Well, Congressman,
you could have been. All right. I like that. Let's hear some more of that.
first of all, Minnesota ranks in the top 3 safest states by highway data. From
Yeah, but he was in Missouri, so, like, why would you even say that?
your own department.
Highway data.
The data from the Department of Transportation
Yeah, right.
for highway safety. We have the 3rd. We want everybody on our roads to be licensed.
So are you saying based on that you're okay
I'm
with
not okay with that. I'm not okay with you or I speeding. I'm not okay with DUI.
But you signed this law that allows for that.
I think it's a very simple question. How is it that giving illegal aliens that can't read English, how does that make the road safer? Does that make the road more or less safe? Like, that's really the question you should be asking.
Find it. And you're going to do nothing about it?
I can't speak to the specific on the CDL. What I can tell you is...
I can. I referenced your law. It says House of Representatives, State of Minnesota. And I know there's a lot of words here, but I referenced exactly the sections that allow for this to happen and preclude federal enforcement regarding immigration and the illegality of people receiving CDLs under your state's
Driver
provisions.
safety and immigration are two separate things. Anybody had that...
No, they're not. Like, not if you let them get in without the immigration papers, and then you let them become drivers. Yeah, no, it's not two separate things. And also keep in mind that this is also another tool that they use in order to legitimize illegals. Because a driver's license in a lot of cases is used as primary documentation for signing up for a lot of different things on the internet. You guys know this. How many people have ever taken a photo of their driver's license or something like that? It's extremely common. So now this is the same thing that he's doing, is he's trying to invent this narrative so he can justify doing this.
I've been a citizen or not, it's still tragic, it's wrong, we shouldn't do it. What I'm telling you is in Minnesota, we have the 3rd safest roads in the country.
So you're good. You're good with this practice.
I'm not good with that.
Well, what are you good with? Because that's what's happening under your law.
Well, I can't speak to the specific on if it's an outlier. We give license to people who then eventually... People get DUIs after we issue
That happened last month. This is March. That happened a week and a half ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you familiar?
That's wrong. And look,
but you're not going to do anything.
Sure, we're going to do.
What are you going to do?
Traffic laws against them.
What are we going to do?
There's a traffic law against them. Oh my God. So then if there's traffic laws against it, why not? Why do we arrest people for DUIs? Why do we take people's licenses away whenever they get a DUI? If there's traffic laws against driving drunk? Like, this is the type of, like, oh my God.
Is this person arrested?
How can somebody think like this?
I sure hope so.
Well, that's good.
And but he was licensed in your state under law that you signed about a year and a half ago.
Every day we give licenses and people speed. So we ticket them and try and stop that. What I'm telling you is I don't understand the connection between...
He's here illegally. He can't read. And he got a license under your provisions, and he's driving all across the country, imperiling everybody else. That's the connection.
I can't speak.
Thank you.
The data shows Minnesota is one of the...
The data shows This is the reason why they try to capture educational and research institutions, is so they can selectively create data in order to justify their behavior. So obviously, I mean, you don't need to have it. Like, if the data shows that illegal aliens don't make the roads more unsafe, then the data collection method is wrong. It is. Everybody knows this. We all know this. But for some reason, people like to play games with this. It's so obvious what's going on. He's getting balder by the day. He is.
Safest driving states in the country. I don't know what to tell you.
Another state's driving, apparently.
I don't
Thank
know.
you, Mr. Perry. Chair now recognize Mr. Min.
Yeah, thank God. And I'll see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. But yeah, overall, what are you? No. Oh, God.
What is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congressman.
know what a
I'm not
woman
here
is?
to be your prop for your...
I feel like this should be like an automatic disqualifier for anything. If you can't identify what a woman is, you are not fit to be in public office making decisions for anybody. Like, just straight up. Like, anybody who's not able to just instantly make that distinction, that is a person that cannot be trusted. And I want to explain the reason why. It's something that's like basically it's a judgment frame of reference. And let me explain what I mean by that. So there's a lot of people who effectively believe things that are silly, but there is a threshold to where if a person believes something that is so disconnected, so delusional, and so out of left field that it causes you to question their entire judgment facilities. I'll give you an example. The flat earth. I think that, how many of you guys, the moment that you heard that a person is a flat earther, you would immediately disregard pretty much anything and everything that they would say because you think this person is an unstable retard. Right? Like, that's what I would do. I would definitely do that. And so, yes, exactly. But and so I think this should be treated the same way. But what really reference does that? What does flat earth have to do with, let's say, economic theory? What does it have to do with driver's licenses? It has nothing to do with it, but it has everything to do with it. Because if a person cannot be trusted to be able to understand that the earth is round, how can you possibly trust their judgment on anything else? It's too dangerous. And I think that the what is a woman question is the same thing. If a person can't do that and they can't immediately come to that conclusion, their judgment is fundamentally impaired. And it is impaired to a degree that they cannot be trusted to make decisions for other people. And there's some people that would even argue that they can't be trusted to make decisions even for themselves. So that's the reason why it's so important.
Session. So if you can't define what a woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is. If you can't even define what a woman is, you can't define fraud. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing?
We've seen this already. Yeah, I've already seen this. But yeah, there it is, right? And so anybody who can't answer that question, in my opinion, is completely compromised. It's totally compromised. They are totally compromised. They're not worth taking seriously at all. And so what is this? I'll look at, there's one more. Okay, let me see this.
Sir, PIQC is accused of $300 million in fraud as significant assets.
This is the guy that wanted to hang everybody on the Epstein list. This guy is a G.
Says yet no charges and no attempts to recover taxpayer money. I'll remind y'all, $19 billion. I was a state legislator, and I can remember when our state budget was $19 billion. This is money that's been stolen, and it will not be recovered. Yep. And you all are to blame, and every dadgum one of you all ought to step down. No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Worse. You gotta be worse. It's gotta be a lot worse than that. Stepping down is not enough. Stepping down, it's not enough at all. Let me listen to this. Oh shit! All right, let's see it. Okay. I don't know if there'd be one. Dadgum. Yep, you're right. But yeah, Tim Walz is a retard. They need to put him in jail. They should try him for sedition or treason. I think that he needs to go to actually prison, and that's the good option, in my opinion. I think they need to do that with a lot of these different politicians, and we need to get more comfortable with the idea of jail and capital punishment for politicians and lawmakers and judges. I think that should be the new policy. No fines, no firing. Jail or capital punishment. We will continue playing Resident Evil. We're going to get some time in on this. Get some shit done.